Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video today. So today we've got poll 84 and this one is huge. Stackable clues and more. Finally, I've been wanting this for years. Okay, so stackable clues. Stackable clue scrolls have been a highly requested feature for years, but they've also been one of the more divisive topics in the community. We know there are strong feelings on both sides, and we want to take a moment to explain how we got here, why we want to make this change, and how we'll ensure it remains balanced for the future. So how did we get there? Picture this, it's March 2024, the birds are singing and the goblins are gobbling, and we decided to change the clue scrolls so they despawn after an hour instead of 3 minutes. Why? Well, a small but dedicated group of players had to figure out a crazy method of juggling clue scrolls. It was niche, it was weird, but instead of breaking that little loophole, we thought, why not just make this official? Surely this won't spiral out of control. Now, it was cool when they did that, obviously. I did a method where you could get a lot of medium clue scrolls, and I think I stacked up like 10 or something like that. But, you know, they despawned in an hour, I think it is, and it was just more frustrating than anything, and I was like, why don't they just make this an actual feature? So, spoiler alert, it did. The entire clue hunting community took one look at this and started juggling clues like it was their full-time job. What was meant to be a small quality of life fix suddenly became the new sweaty meta, and before we knew it, our inboxes were full of complaints from players who hated clue juggling, but now felt like they had to do it to stay competitive, 100%. So the lesson learned, just because something is less annoying doesn't mean it's still not annoying. We knew we had to do something about it, however, simply undoing the change felt like pulling the rug out from under the players who had already adapted to it. Thus, instead of relying on inventory ticks and despawn timers, we've proposed a way for players to legitimately stack a limited number of clue scrolls. So introducing the scroll box. This is exactly what I wanted to come into the game. So instead of juggling clues like a circus performer with scroll boxes, you'll be able to stack your clues in a limited, controlled way. So here's how it works. If you've completed the X marks the spot, you'll start receiving scroll boxes instead of regular clue scrolls. If you haven't completed X marks the spot, you'll still receive the standard clue scrolls. This is a very easy quest, takes like 5 minutes. You can hold a maximum number of 5 scroll boxes, or 4 and 1 clue scroll. Geodes, bottles, and birds' nests, now they'll give scroll boxes instead of loose clue scrolls. Nice. So it's worth noting that this proposed system is actually weaker than the current juggling method. Because you could do like 10, 15. I've even seen players do like 30 at once with the juggling method. But it's significantly less annoying. You won't be able to stack dozens of clues for long grinding sessions, but you'll be able to, you'll have a legitimate way of holding onto multiple clue scrolls without resorting to tedious inventory tricks. Sounds great, right? Well, hold on, because you won't be able to just stack clues for free. Watson says you've got to earn them. All right, Watson. Okay, so unlocking your stacking power, we know you're eager to hoard clues like a dragon sitting on a pile of treasure, but stacking clue scrolls is something you'll have to earn. Why? Because clue scrolls are special. The magical moment when you see your first clue drop, the rush of excitement, the dreams of untold riches, the immediate panic when it's a coordinate step, shouldn't be lost in a pile of stacked scrolls. We want the newer gamers to feel that rush of its treasure hunting time. However, once you've proven yourself as a secondary clue chaser or a seasoned clue chaser, you'll unlock the power to stack clues like a treasure hunting pro. So basically, yeah, like newer players might get a clue scroll on the ground and, you know, they don't want to go do it immediately, so they'll just leave it on the ground or pick it up and never do it type thing. So this is definitely going to maybe encourage newer players or people who have never done treasure trails to get into it. So how to unlock your stacks? To increase your stacking limit, you'll need to complete the following challenges. So defeating the Mimic. This will increase your clue scroll stack cap across all tiers by 1. That's pretty big. I actually haven't done that yet, believe it or not. Complete a set number of clues per tier. This would unlock additional stacking for the specific tier, so see below. So basically, beginners, completions for the first cap increase is 50. Completions for the second cap increase would be 100. And this goes down to easy, medium, hard, elite, and master. So yeah, it's one of those things where the more clue scrolls you do, the more you can stack up. And I think this is actually very good. So think of it as leveling up your clue hunting skills. The more you engage, the better your stacking ability gets. We've slightly reduced the number for rarer clues like Masters and Elite, since we know these can be quite the grind, but we're always open to feedback. Here's a quick example for you. So 1, base level, no cap increases. You can hold up to 2 clues total, whether that's 2 scroll boxes or a clue scroll and 1 box. So 2, first cap increase your total clue capacity to 3 for that tier. Second cap increase your clue capacity to 4 for that tier. And then if you defeat the mimic, unlocks an extra slot across all tiers, letting you hold a total of 5 clues, regardless of whether you've completed the other tier unlocks or not. This bonus is retroactive, so if you've already defeated the mimic before this update goes live, you'll automatically get that +1. So yeah, that's actually really cool. I'd like to see how players or the community thinks of this, because some of these are kind of hard. Like imagine doing 100 easies and then 200 more easies just to get that extra stack. I don't know, I think these numbers should definitely go down a little bit, but overall I'm a fan. So addressing concerns. So one key change we want to be upfront about is the reduction of the clue scroll despawn timer back to 3 minutes. This will happen regardless of whether stackable clues pass the poll or not. Damn, okay, so that's actually huge. So we recognize this will be a controversial change, but after reviewing player behavior and feedback, we believe the 1 hour despawn timer led to some frustrating play patterns that weren't healthy for the game. Our goal is to ensure clue scrolls remain an engaging and rewarding activity rather than something that encourages juggling or forces players into tedious inventory management. So yeah, that's one thing they have to think about, right? So obviously the juggling is very annoying, but it's also even more annoying if you're in your Slayer task, you're 2 kills into the boss, and you get a, say, elite clue, and you have to deposit everything into your bank because you have to go to the wilderness or something, right? It's just one of those things where they're just annoying in general. So the stacking element is good, so you can kind of knock them all out at once. So yeah, that's also why stackable clues are being proposed to offer a practical alternative. If this update passes, you'll be able to store up to 5 clues per tier in your inventory, reducing the need for constant back and forth interruptions. The intent here is to smooth out the experience. Yeah. So whether you're finishing a Slayer task without needing to leave multiple times or completing a raid without abandoning a group, that's actually insane. Imagine if you have like a group of 5 players ready. Sorry boys, got an elite, and then you have to leave for like 45 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. So this is just the first step in improving clue scrolls. We want to refine the system to enhance your gameplay without making it trivial. We'll continue to monitor how this system plays out and make changes if necessary. But to be absolutely clear, we will not be increasing the stack limit beyond 5. This is a firm cap, and we have no plans to expand it farther. Interesting. I was actually just going to be talking about that, if maybe in the future they will increase it to like 10 or something, even like 7 or 8. 5, eh? Huh. Oh god, this already sounds like RuneScape 3 skip tokens. So one of the biggest frustrations with clue scrolls is reaching a late step only to be hit with a task you can't complete or just really don't want to do. So I'm assuming some hardcore wilderness steps, maybe you don't have an item, you know what I mean? Some players resorting to juggling clues to avoid these situations, which aren't exactly an engaging gameplay experience. To address this, we're introducing skip tokens, a new item designed to give players more control over their clue solving experience without removing the challenge entirely. So each clue tier will have its own skip tokens obtained through clue scroll reward chests. These tokens will be tradable and stackable, making them a valuable commodity for players looking to streamline their clue runs. So at least they're going to be tradable, so you can buy them, you know what I mean? They might be actually worth a good amount of money, and I like the fact that they actually come out of clue scrolls. They're not from a boss, they're not from this. So at the end of the day, they don't really affect too much. I think they're actually good. I was expecting some like, yeah, you can buy 10 for $5.99. So here's how they work. So skip tokens allow you to skip a single clue step within a scroll. They cannot be used on a final step of a clue to prevent the integrity of the reward structure. A warning message will appear if skipping would complete the clue, helping to prevent you from accidentally wasting a skip token. So by introducing skip tokens, we're offering an alternative to juggling while also adding a new tradable reward to clues. Whether you're an Ironman looking for a smoother clue experience or a merchant eyeing new profit opportunities, these tokens would bring both convenience and value to clue scrolls. Yeah, I think the way that they're doing it is actually amazing and is a win-win for everyone. So there's a lot of the different PVM reworks that they want to work on, and the Abyssal Sire is one of them. They want to make the phases of the fight sort of quicker, because it's a boss that just takes a long time because of how slow it is, the different mechanics with that. So obviously I think that's going to be something that they should sort of shorten, right? Like certain phases they're going to be shortening, you know what I mean? And then this one's huge. So melee at Zulrah. This was available during the League's 5 Raging Echoes, where you could actually use like certain weapons like the Noxious Halberd and stuff like that on Zulrah. Why not add this to the main game? I don't really see an issue with that at all. It'd be cool to do different mechanics at Zulrah, you know what I mean? So why not add melee to Zulrah? Might be interesting to do. This one's pretty cool too, so not so challenging mode chambers. So basically, if anyone's ever done a hard mode at the Chambers of Xeric, it's all like the exact same layout every time. So you kind of just know what you're going into rather than sort of like searching for different rooms and stuff like that. So they want to add a Chambers of Xeric, the predictable sort of layouts every single time, but not be the hard mode. So you can kind of just do it the regular mode, get a lot more points this way, and get good at every room. I think that's a great thing to add into the game. So they want to make some changes to Demonic Gorillas. Some of these are really good. So first up, Demonic Gorillas will become non-aggressive once you've completed the Monkey Madness 2 quest. So no more worrying about constantly being attacked. That's actually very nice. And we're also standardizing how often they swap prayers. So right now their behavior is a little bit unpredictable. They switch prayers after 50 damage taken or after 6 successful hits from the player. We're tightening that up moving forward. Demonic Gorillas will only swap their prayers after 70 damage taken, and we're removing the 6 successful attacks trigger entirely. This should make the fight more consistent and less frustrating. I remember when I was going back for my Zenite shards, this was an awful grind, man. So you could, you know, hit 6 times and like barely do any damage, and you have to switch your whole gear again. Just a very frustrating fight overall, and every time you went in there, they would all just attack you, and it would be very, very annoying. So I do like these changes. So there's a change for Ether. So basically, you get these things from fighting Revenants, the different totems and artifacts, right? And we're proposing a new feature that lets you chisel down the ancient statues into Revenant Ether, offering a solid alternative to simply trading them for gold coins. This change gives you more flexibility if you've already secured a Revenant weapon. So basically, these are the different prices that you can exchange them for Ether rather than GP itself. I'm not sure how much Ether even is, if this is going to be the same amount of money or whatnot, but it's going to be good for the Ironman players for sure. Adding more agility shortcuts. This is something I think they should always just add into the game, make it easier to get around, right? So there's some new ones going to be at the Draken Castle, Varrock Castle Garden, different ones across the map, right? So you can take a look at these if you're interested. I think the more agility shortcuts in the game, the better. So banking and the Grand Exchange. We all love a good bank rework, and this time around we're bringing in some quality of life upgrades to make your time in Gielinor that little bit smoother. Whether you're speed depositing loot, adjusting offers at the Grand Exchange, or just enjoying a more consistent interface experience, these updates aim to reduce friction and save you clicks. So the Grand Exchange edits. So markets can move fast, and we want to make sure you're not left behind. We're working on a feature that will let you edit your Grand Exchange offer prices directly from the offer status page without needing to manually cancel and re-enter the whole thing. That's actually really nice. I do like this because, like they said, that the prices go up and down like within a couple of days. And if you're like me and you usually don't play the game on the weekend, if you have an offer saying on the Friday, by the time Monday hits, the price could be completely different. So it's cool that you can actually re-enter it now and wait for your whole buy offer to come in rather than having to cancel it, go back in. Nice. So empty bags, sacks, boxes, and pouches. So ever wrap up a trip, head to the bank, and realize you've got to manually empty a mountain of containers just to get everything stashed away. It's a small thing, but we know it adds up, so we're proposing a much more convenient way to handle it. We'd like to introduce a new empty containers button to the bank and deposit box interfaces. This would act much like the current deposit looting bag button, but with expandable functionality. So with just one click, you'd be able to empty all your relevant containers, including the coal bag, the essence pouches, the herb sack, the seed box, the plank sack, the log basket, the fish barrel, and the shade remains coffin. Damn, we have a lot of stuff in the game. Obviously add this, why not? So they're going to be adding a rebuy feature for the Grand Exchange. Why not, obviously? So standardizing reward and deposit interfaces. So ever noticed how some reward chests and deposit menus have their options in a different order every time? Basically what they want to do is standardize it so that they will be, you know, consistent in a consistent order, whether you're looting a raid chest, collecting a minigame reward, or interacting with a similar menu. So yeah, might as well standardize it and kind of make it consistent across the board. This one's kind of crazy. So Chinchompa insurance. So losing Chinchompas to a disconnect or a PVM death feels awful. That's why you never bring 2,000 at once. So you worked hard for these squeaky little explosives, and it's frustrating when they just disappear into the void. We're changing that. We want to make any unprotected chins go straight to your gravestone or death pile, just like normal items, so you have a chance to recover them. We're also removing the destroy option because who wants to accidentally, you know, destroy a cute little Chinchompa? Not you. With this change, they would have a drop option instead. So yes, why not add this so everyone can take all their chins and not have to really worry? I was just going to make a video about this. So bonfires, a fairer XP rate. So bonfires exist as more of a relaxed way to train fire making, but in reality, they're barely used. The XP per log is so low that almost no one bothers with them. I think it's 33% of burning a log, something crazy like that. So meaning that, they serve little practical function in the game. So to address this, we're adjusting bonfires so that they grant the same XP per log as manually lighting fires while still keeping their overall XP. What? There's no way that they're actually adding this into the game. That's crazy. That's from Runescape 3. So this change won't make bonfires the new meta. Yes, it will. That doesn't even make sense. It's going to be an insane experience per hour. So no one's going to be lighting fires anymore. That's so sad. But this will make them more viable option for those who prefer a laid-back training method without feeling like they're missing out. I do not understand how they don't think this is going to increase the XP per hour. So you're going to either click the tinderbox, click the log, click the tinderbox, click the log. I guess that is maybe faster, but oh, this is so good. This one's really funny. So the gout tuber mystery. So apparently the lower woodcutting level you have, you get the gout tuber a lot quicker. That's probably why on the league I actually got it very quickly. Instead of on my main account, it took like 3 hours or something like that. So they want to change this so that if you have a higher woodcutting level, it's actually a better chance. Yeah, that's kind of a stupid thing. And there's just a bunch more miscellaneous changes. I'll go over some that I think are really important. So obviously the wise old man. So the wise old man is expanding his services. He'll now accept a wider range of quest related items when you use his services to remove items from your bank. It's never been easier to clear out your bank space and prepare for your next adventure. That's very good, Jagex. Different updates with the Giant's Foundry bonus action ticks, update trap placement for So we've improved the placement of hunting traps at various spots, making it easier to set up and more efficiently for players looking to maximize their hunter training. One of the biggest beneficiaries of this change is net traps for salamanders, which should now feel much smoother to place. No awkward setups, just efficient, hassle-free trapping. Very, very good. Wow, what a day, man. This has been a very unexpected. Lots of great updates coming into the game. Really excited for the stackable clues and also for the bonfire XP rates. So I'm gonna just quickly show you guys that right now. So if I grab myself out a tinderbox and we'll just go with a magic log, right? So if we go right here, for example, and light a magic log, this will be 303 experience. And if I use this magic log on here, it will be like 100. Yeah, it's 33% or something like that. So imagine just being able to throw them into the campfire each and every time. I don't know. That's going to be pretty broken, especially with something like redwood logs or something like that is going to be crazy XP per hour. But I mean, fire making is one of those things where you either train it, lose money, or you go to Wintertod, make a little bit. So maybe even Wintertod will still be faster, but it's one of those things. Lots of great updates. Let me know down in the comments which is your favorite. I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya later.